Good morning and happy Monday. Happy Dr. King Day. How's everybody doing? Sorry I missed a couple of days. I needed to be present for my lovely bride as we said goodbye to her amazing mom. Um, we're on our 30 days. We're on our 30-day path, and it's time to talk about creating lasting change. When change happens, how does it happen? We talked about neurolinguistic programming, neuroassociative conditioning. Neurolinguistic programming was the original technology, and that was not invented by Tony Robbins, but he was the guy that really looked at that and saw that it could be used to change virtually anything. And the reason that the name got changed from neurolinguistic programming to neuroassociative conditioning is because the idea of programming kind of got things messed up. People thought, well, I do this once and then I'm done. And it doesn't work that way. It's like exercise. You don't just do it once and then you're done. You got to do it for the rest of your life. You got to condition these things for the rest of your life. So hence the change from neurolinguistic programming to neuroassociative conditioning. And yes, I need a shave, and that will happen later this morning. So now, when we do change, what happens? Well, we have three beliefs that come into our head when lasting change happens, and then we do three specific things. The three beliefs are that this must change, that I can change it, and that I must change it now. Those are the three beliefs that occur. And the three steps are: number one, that you get leverage; number two, you interrupt the pattern; and number three, you instill a new pattern. Now, that sounds like a lot, but over the next couple of days, we're going to go through this and you're going to see it's really pretty straightforward. So, the first thing I want you to do for today is think of something that you've wanted to change for a long time and you haven't been able to do it. Whether it's finances, whether it's your physical health, losing weight, getting out of a relationship that you've needed to get out of, going into a relationship, committing to a relationship that you need to. What's something that you've been trying to change for a long time and you haven't made it? Or what is a couple of things that you need to do that you haven't done? Get yourself a list of things that you need to permanently change in your life. Then let's think of something that you wanted to change for a long time and you were able to make that change in the past. So maybe it's quitting smoking for you. Maybe you used to be a smoker and then you were able to quit smoking. Maybe it's alcohol. Maybe you got out of a relationship that you needed to get out of. Maybe you changed your weight. Maybe you changed careers. Whatever it is, think of a change that you tried to make for a long period of time and then all of a sudden were able to make. And write that down. Write down exactly how you did that, when you did that, or what was the time that happened. The key to all of this is leverage. So the three beliefs that you need: it must change, I can change it, it must change now. The three steps: leverage, interrupt the pattern, create a new pattern. The key to all of that is leverage. The old adage, you can't teach old dog new tricks. That's not true. In the old adage, people don't change. The tiger doesn't change its stripes. The leopard doesn't change its spots. A lot of times people don't change and they don't want to change, but if they get enough leverage, they absolutely will. And most of the time, the leverage is not themselves. People will do more for other people than they will for themselves. If you look back at the thing that you changed in your life, what you'll find is that the change happened when you got enough leverage. And by the way, here's the other belief that isn't true. People think it takes a long time to change. Totally untrue. Change happens in a heartbeat. For some people, it can take a long time to get to the point where they finally decide to make the change. But at some point, they hit that tipping point, and that tipping point is when they got enough leverage. Now, a lot of times, we wait around for the universe to give us enough leverage to finally change, but we can do it on our own. Leverage is the key to all of this. If all of a sudden you have enough leverage, now the change happens effortlessly. And by the way, if you think about the thing that you dramatically changed, once you changed it, it didn't require discipline. It just happened because you became a new person. You developed a new identity. If you talk to somebody who quit smoking, when they finally quit, that was it. There was no going back for them. Same is true with alcohol. Same is true with drugs. When those things finally happen, like a relationship. How many of us have been in a relationship where we stayed in the relationship way too long? We can all raise our hand. The reason you didn't leave that relationship is out of fear. You feared the unknown. You were like, all right, this relationship is painful, but the fear of what it's going to be outside of this relationship is more painful. So I'm going to stay in this painful relationship because I'm more afraid of the unknown. And then finally, one day you had it and you got leverage and you said, that's it. Never again. No more. It's over. And the switch flipped. And suddenly the fear of the unknown was less than the pain that you were in this relationship, and you walked away. And then you look back and you went, why did I wait so long to finally walk away, right? Why did it take me so long to finally get to threshold to get to that point? Well, the thing is we can get ourselves to threshold on our own. We don't have to wait for the universe to show up and give us enough leverage to get there. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But what I want you to think about today is think about something that you've wanted to change. And it can be one or two things that you've tried to change again and again and again, but you never got there. And then think about something that was a big deal. Maybe it's a relationship. That's a good example that you needed to change for a long time, and then finally you got enough leverage, you got threshold, and you broke through and you made that change. And go back to that time and think about what was it that was the key for you that got you past so that you could move on. And then tomorrow, we're going to talk about how do we get that leverage, interrupt our pattern, and instill a new pattern and create lasting change for ourselves using neuroassociative conditioning. And it makes the change permanent. It lasts forever. And once you do it, it becomes effortless and the change is instilled into your body and you don't have to worry about it ever again. Today's the anniversary of Dr. King. I encourage you to take the few minutes that his I Have a Dream speech is. I think it's 12 minutes or 18 minutes long. I watch it every year on this day. I used to make my daughter watch it every year on this day. It's one of the top 3 greatest speeches ever made. It's extraordinary. The man only lived to be 35 years old. And we still talk about him. And obviously, he impacted the world. True leadership comes from a desire to serve. And Dr. King never intended to be the leader and the spokesperson for his movement, but his desire to serve and his ability to speak made him the spokesperson for that movement. That's the definition of true leadership. True leaders are pushed up by the people that they're leading and asked to speak on their behalf. So we honor Dr. King today. I encourage you to listen to the speech. And tomorrow we're going to talk about the things that you need to change and how we're going to go about doing that. Good morning to my Uncle Bill. Your sister's getting ready to go to Mexico. Mr. Drehobel down in Florida, great to see you. Miss Winger, great to see you. Chris, awesome to see you this morning. And Val, Christina, thank you so much for watching. And Patty Daly, how are you, dear? Good to see you. Thank you so much for hopping on. Have a great day, everybody. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other. See you tomorrow.